strip a table. This is a table from our local Mexican restaurant. It's, as you can see, it's pretty beat up. Lots of scratches, lots of gouges. But it turns out these tables are pretty nice. We're just going to be refinishing the top, because the base is in pretty good shape still. Now, I'll show you what the bottom of these tables looks like. These are Henry Don tables. You can see the label burned into the bottom there, and see the date this was made, which is over here. It's number 1170. We've got another number burned in up there. The date is 1/12/84. That's when they were made. Okay, so these are really nice tables. They've just been abused a little bit, being in restaurants probably since then. So we're going to recover them, refinish them. Table, you want to first put on your, as I call my stripper outfit. I've got my ratty pants and my painting boots, because we're going to use this stripper stuff, which is super nasty. It's today I'm going to be using Super Strip, and be sure to read the directions and the warnings on the back. It's nasty, nasty stuff, because it's going to take off all the stuff on this table. So we're going to pour it into a metal container. Be sure to put the lid back on. And I've got my thick rubber gloves on. And then what you do is you just take it and you paint it on. The instructions say to paint it with the grain. So we're going to do that. We're going to put it on nice and thick. And we're going to use quite a bit of this stuff. We'll cover the whole table. Alright, so I've covered the whole table top with the stripper. I've got the sides too, and you can see it's starting to bubble up there, and we're going to let that sit a bit while I do the other table. Alright, it's been sitting a little bit, and I've got my putty knife. You're supposed to use a plastic putty knife, but I don't like using plastic. I like using metal. I'm going to be really careful so I don't gouge the wood. Let's see how we're doing on this. That's pretty good. Yeah, you can see that stuff just takes the finish right off of that and brings up the wood. And it's not quite getting everything there, so I'm going to put another coat of stripper on this and then try it again. Alright, I put another layer of stripper, and that's coming off pretty nicely. So I'll strip the whole thing, and I like to strip straight into a trash can. You can see the places where I didn't put quite enough stripper on, so I'm going to put some more on there, and I'll let it sit a little bit, and strip it off again with the putty knife. It's been sitting a little bit, and it's coming off a lot better now. I just got some stripper on my wrist, so I had to go rinse that off. That really hurts. But we're doing pretty well. I'm gonna need to get some more stripper on these edges here. It's kind of hard to put on the edges because you want it really thick, but you also don't want it to be dripping off and destroying anything that's underneath it. So I'll put that on there. Yeah, the table's looking pretty good too. The sides, we've got these little indentions here, so I just go through with the edge of the putty knife like that and scrape that off. If it doesn't come off easily, it just means you need some more stripper. So just put that on there, let it sit, and then you can keep going. So these tables are looking pretty good. I don't know what stain they had originally, but we're going to use special walnut Minwax. With Minwax, you want to stir it up really well. Make sure all the stuff on the bottom is done. Now these tables have some pretty deep gouges, and I think it goes all the way through the veneer. So I'm going to put some wood filler in there. But the wood filler I have is white, so I'm going to add a little bit of the special walnut in there. So I've got the two-step wood filler. Used about 16 parts of this to 1 part of this, and I've got it ready to mix up here in my little can. And I'm going to add a little bit of that and mix it up and see how we do. So I've got these gouges here, and I'm going to smush that wood filler in there with my putty knife. And then you want to scrape it off so it's pretty even. A little bit to sand down. We're going to sand all this stuff down. That's looking pretty good. Epoxy wood filler stuff in there and the gouges. We'll see how that does. And I've got my circular sander. I've got an old piece of sandpaper on there to try to get all the little bits of finish that I didn't get off with the putty knife. And once I go around the whole thing with this one, I'll throw that one away and put on a new 180 piece of sandpaper.